enriched by the entire experience. The fear of getting hurt is usually much worse than the reality. And usually, you don't get hurt. You make some friends and you feel more happy and positive about life. You haven't let fear get in your way. Do you like and appreciate yourself? This is important in that it will affect how you interact with other people. If you really don't like yourself, people will pick up on this. You'll also be looking for approval in other people. You won't be thinking of yourself as valuable and as being able to offer a lot to people with your friendship. If this is an issue for you, working on your self-esteem might be a good place to start. Being an approval seeker will actually affect how you behave around others. When others do talk to you, you'll be trying to think of something clever or witty to say rather than listening to that person. Or you'll be worrying about not saying something stupid or not letting them see the pimple on your forehead. You'll be concentrating on yourself rather than the other person. You won't be completely engaged in the conversation. You'll miss a lot of the actual conversation and it won't feel very satisfying to you. And afterwards, you'll spend a lot of time replaying the conversation and beating yourself up for saying the wrong thing or not coming across as clever as you would have liked. By being an approval seeker, you've actually caused yourself to not fit in. So if this is an issue for you, then there's lots of articles on my site which can help steer you in the right direction to become a non-approval seeker. Your relationships will dramatically improve once you let go of this bad habit. Number 8, do you expect other people to put you down or make fun of you? If you do, then you'll be analyzing everything people say and looking for the insult. Somehow, someone will compliment you and you'll put yourself down. It's hard to have a conversation with someone who puts themselves down all the time or who takes everything they say the wrong way. So, pay attention to what you're expecting and how those expectations affect your behavior. Instead of analyzing everything that's said as to whether it's an insult or not, just take it at face value. Don't add anything to it. For example, if someone says, "I like your earrings," don't start thinking that they're just saying that because they feel sorry for you. Just take it as face value and say, "Thank you." And even better would be to add some more detail like, "Thank you. I got them at Joann's Boutique. You know the one down on Elm Street? Have you ever been there?" Then they'll either answer yes or no. And you can add something else like, "They have the cutest earrings there. I always find something I want." And the next thing you know, you're having a conversation with someone and you're fitting in just fine. Just by adding that little bit more information, you've become interesting and made it really easy to talk to you. Instead of expecting the worst from others, try to be interested in the person you're speaking to. What interesting thing can you find out about them? 9. Do you have healthy boundaries? Barbara Sloan says, quote, "You decide on certain reasonable standards and preferences, and people who violate your trust and prove themselves detrimental to you are people who don't form relationships with. End quote. This is fantastic advice, and by having this concept as a truth in your life, definitely changes how you feel about yourself. You're open to people up until a certain point. If you don't have healthy boundaries, then you're much more likely to be so desperate to have anyone like you or talk to you that you'll let anyone in. It's when you don't are able to see how much of an effect your thoughts have on situations and how you feel about yourself. Your thoughts not only determine how you think about the situation, it's good, it's bad, it's neutral, they'll affect your body language as well. And sometimes the easiest solution really is just to change your focus. Stop being so self-conscious and start looking around you. What's happening around you? What's interesting? What are people talking about? What can you learn? But it does start with listening to what you're thinking about and what you're telling yourself. And then pretty soon, you're just fitting in just fine. If you'd like to send this article to a friend, simply click on the button below. So the additional resources is also Leonard Niemi's inspirational letter, "I Don't Fit Anywhere, Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving" by Pete Walker. And you can catch that, looks like on Amazon. So it's basically the mind and how you thinking about things determines who you have a relationship with, who you can start a conversation with, and making new friends. And I had a couple people ask me, you know, why don't I fit in? I'm gonna change my number. You know, I'm gonna start reaching out to people. There's certain people that's gonna react to you, and certain people that's not. So you determine the conversation. You determine who you want to talk to and who's engaging, and then we'll know. If I would have thought that way, I would have never started this show. So on that note, quote for the day. Just gotta wait for this. My internet been acting stupid lately, y'all. It does what it wants to. It's got all this stuff going on, and it's a little jumpy tonight. So give me just a few seconds here while I see what Twitter has to say for quote for the day. It's doing the most. Okay. Get rid of this. And sometimes people, your phone may be jumpy because you got too many windows open. And it just wants to do its thing sometimes. Okay, see if I missed anything. All right. So,